Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to Sentinel, Oklahoma, and the commencement ceremonies for the high school class of 2022. I ask that you please silence or turn off your cell phones, and if for any reason you need to leave during the ceremony, this event is being live streamed in the cafeteria and is also available on the school's YouTube page. At the end of the ceremony, we ask that everyone stay in their seats until all the graduates have left the auditorium. Please remain seated as we welcome this year's graduating candidates. Seniors, please be seated. Jet Cunningham has a GPA of 3.85. He's a member of the Bulldog basketball and baseball teams, is active in TSA, and is a member of student council. Jet currently serves as secretary of the senior class. Please welcome class of 2022 salutatorian, Jet Cunningham.
Oh man, all right. I'm a little nervous, so don't judge. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, our family was busy getting us ready for our kindergarten graduation. Then, several years later, our 8th grade graduation, which leads us now to this point where each one of us has gotten ready for our high school graduation. Now, I know what you're thinking right now. We got to keep the tradition going with the 8th grade graduation, so you had to bring out the Star Wars suit. As you can see, Class of 2022, your training is now complete. You were but the learners, but now you are the masters. But not even a Jedi can foresee with any certainty what the future holds for you. There's only one certainty in your future, and that's that your life is about to change. You can't stop change any more than you can stop the suns from setting. Some of us will go off to college, some of us will head out into the workforce, and some of us have no idea what you're going to do. Whatever your plan is, whatever direction you choose, be fearless. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Face your fear. Lean into your fear. Take your fear on a ride through hyperspace. Often failure is our greatest way to success. Obi-Wan Kenobi once said, "Strike me down and I will become more powerful than you can possibly imagine." The things we learn in the midst of failures are what strengthens us and makes us who we are. Fear can cripple us from doing what we want. It holds you back from taking risks. So let it go. We are the next generation to make discoveries, save lives, create masterpieces, and to restore in peace and justice to the galaxy. In the famous words of Yoda, "Do or do not, there is no try." These words hold some of the most profound truth for us all. We all have a dream we wish to achieve. We have to overcome that fear that tells us we can't become what we've always wanted to be. Whether it's playing for the MLB, becoming a professional sleeper, joining the military, being a fortune cookie writer, a lawyer, nurse, or engineer, take Yoda's advice. Do not merely try, just do. The next few years ahead of us are the years where our dreams come true. Congrats to the Jedi Knights of 2022, and may the Force be with you. Thank you.
Jack Wooten has a GPA of 4.0. He's a member of the Bulldog basketball and baseball teams, is active in Sentinel TSA, and president of the Sentinel Chapter of Beta. Please welcome 2022 Valedictorian, Jack Wooten.
My whole senior year, people have asked me what I'm going to do after high school. Most of the time, I say I don't know, but sometimes I just make stuff up. In fact, I gave so many different answers that I've lost track of all of them. So if I've told you I'm going to Southwestern, Redlands, or OU, there's a good chance that I made that story up on the spot because it seemed like you really needed a definite answer. The truth is, I might be going to Southwestern, Redlands, or even OU, but the fact of the matter is, I just don't know. Pretending that I have much of anything figured out at 18 years old is pretty crazy. One thing I do know is that I will not be attending school here at Sentinel Public Schools next year. So if you really want to know what my future plans are, stay tuned. Or you could ask one of my parents. Making the transition from high school to college is one of the first of many major life decisions. Sometimes it's okay not to know all the details. Life happens during the journey. My destination is college. Whether I play baseball at a junior college or just get started with my education, I will be moving on. I think it's okay at this point that I just don't know. Many of our destinations are unknown. What is important is that I know how to push through when things aren't clear or don't work out like I planned. Let me tell you a story about a horse. No, not the horse I ran into on my way home from practice one night. That horse is dead. A story about a racehorse that was bred to be a champion. After coming in last in its very first race, the horse was sold for $30,000 to an Oklahoma oil man, Richard Dawson, who had failed to buy the horse he really wanted. This would be his last attempt at the horse racing industry. 30 seconds before the entry deadline for the Kentucky Derby, a horse was scratched from the race, and Mr. Dawson entered his horse. 1 week ago today, Rich Strike, with 80-1 odds, won the Kentucky Derby. Even though unsure of the outcome, this man was willing to risk failure when failure was likely. Life is worth taking risks. Maybe you're wondering where all of this is headed, and to be honest, I don't really know. But if you want to take a risk, have your checkbook ready and meet me in the lobby after the ceremony. I'll settle for a lot less than $30,000.
Mr. Landon Warren was raised in Sentinel, Oklahoma, and is a member of the 2010 Bulldog graduating class, which, according to him, led to one of his proudest accomplishments early in life, and that was surviving Mr. Friesen's chemistry class. After graduating from Sentinel, he went on to play college baseball and received his bachelor's degree from Southwestern Oklahoma State University in Weatherford in 2014. He then pursued and received a master's from Midwestern Seminary School in Kansas City. Along the way, he met and married his wife, Amy. They have a 2-year-old daughter, Ellery, and another daughter that will be joining the family in August. Mr. Warren currently serves as pastor of the First Baptist Church in Snyder, Oklahoma. Please welcome Mr. Landon Warren.
Graduates, take just a second. If you know where your family is, just take and look around and see where they're at real fast. There's somebody's right there. Here's the thing. They're excited for you tonight. They're proud of you tonight. Some of them may be proud and excited because they didn't even know that they could get you to survive this long to get to graduation. But there are definitely people that are proud of you all throughout this room, from your families, your teachers, your coaches, your administration, and you should be proud of yourself and of one another as well. I want to thank Mr. Grable for the invitation to be here tonight for this, what is a special occasion. Like, I am one of you. I am a proud Sentinel alumni because once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog. And I can somewhat remember being where you are tonight. It was 12 years ago. And let me be honest, which I'll be honest in everything that I say tonight, okay? That's my promise to you. I don't remember graduation all that clearly. I'm not convinced, though, that many people remember their graduation very, very clearly. I was trying to recall anything from that night, and I really have no recollection of who I sat by or walking across the stage to receive my diploma-less folder. I'm assuming that's still the case, that there's nothing in there quite yet, or whose hands I shook, or who did the very thing that I'm doing right now and speaking to you all, much less what in the world was said that night back in 2010. But there are pictures, okay, to prove that I was here. I walked across this stage 12 years ago, but it's hard to remember any of it. And this, guess what? This is why I'm excited to be here tonight, sharing thoughts with people who don't care what I have to say and won't remember what I said 30 minutes from now. But one thing that I do remember very well whenever I was in your shoes is how hard I worked in high school to make sure I would not be a top student in my class. So props to Jack and Jet, because I worked hard not to do what they did tonight. I worked hard not to give a speech at graduation. Very hard. I kept track of other people's grades so that I would know where I needed to be so that I wouldn't have to stand up here back in 2010. And that is not a humble brag, okay? It is evidence to the fact that the male brain doesn't really mature or develop until about the age 25, at least. Okay? It also reveals that sometimes hard work doesn't pay off the way that you expect it to. Because 12 years later, I'm here giving a graduation speech. And all that said, though, okay, I still count it to be a great privilege and an honor to be speaking to you tonight, because you're at a point in your life where you're going to begin to discover more about who you believe that you are. It's an exciting time for you. One thing that I've learned since I was in your seat, I think I sat on this side, back in 2010, is that whenever I do something, I'm all in. I go all in. There's really no halfway for me, because I believe that it's important to steward time. It's important to steward opportunities the best that you can. So one day in the distant future, maybe even the near future, you will not remember me. You will not remember who spoke here at your graduation or what was said, but I'm still going to jump in all the way for you tonight, okay? Mr. Grable suggested that I share any lessons, if I had any, that I've learned since graduating. So here's what I want to do quickly. I want to share 2 of the many lessons that I've learned since I sat in your seat. And frankly, I wish I would have learned them sooner, okay? Number 1 is value your character, okay? Value your character. Some of you, like Jet mentioned, you have plans and you have dreams for your life. Some of you are hoping to discover those at some point along the way. And then there's some of you couldn't care less about dreams or plans for your life, which that was mostly me about 12 years ago. Unfortunately, there is written evidence from whenever I was a senior that my future plans were to roll with the flow. And again, look, that's nothing but evidence that the male brain takes time to develop. You are all going to find yourself pursuing something, some type of career, some type of job. There's something, though, that's more valuable than your career, and it's your character. I was told time and time again, like everybody else whenever I was younger, that I could grow up and I could do whatever I wanted. I could be whatever I wanted to be, so long as I put my mind to it. Maybe you've heard this as well. Your expectations, though, plus maybe your hard work or your commitment, doesn't always equal reality, which is actually, it's not a bad thing. It can certainly be challenging, though, and it can lead to tough moments in your life. And this is when reality, it hits you in the face regarding whatever career choice you're going to pursue. Maybe you have to change the career paths multiple times. The job doesn't work out. You realize that careers or jobs can come and go. But what is truly valuable along the way is how you carry yourself through it all. So keep developing your character. Keep valuing your character over any career or over any job that you might pursue, because it will help you, I believe, lay down at night, sleep well, because you're going to be a person of honesty, you're going to be a person of integrity, and frankly, a person of selflessness. I mean, that will take you a long way in whatever journey that you find yourself on. So value your character. Second, establish your convictions. I don't know if you have any convictions, you probably do, but establish those. Every one of you over the next few years, you're going to begin to see the world in a certain way. And like a pair of glasses that you might put on to see clearly, I want to encourage you to choose wisely the glasses of conviction that you put on in order to try to understand the world, how the world works, and how you believe the world should work. People who lack conviction can often be miserable people who are tossed, they're back and forth by different worldviews, and they find themselves being beaten up by the world's ideas, because ideas, are always changing. But be committed over the next few years to establish your conviction so that you can stand firm, so that you can stand amidst the ideas of a rapidly changing world. And there are two convictions that I believe they're actually relevant for all of us here tonight, but especially you graduates. Don't allow the world to tell you who you are as a person. And don't let the world decide and define what success is for you. Who you are as a person, your identity, it is crucial for flourishing in this life. But I would encourage you to be careful of who you allow to speak into your life and what you look to in order to find your identity. So for fun and kind of some misery, I look back to my senior yearbook, which you'll get to do someday. And I had to look back to see who my class thought I was back in 2010. I think there were 24 of us. I was considered senior all around and Mr. SHS. And frankly, I have no idea what those things mean. Still don't. So that's not a big struggle for me to have my identity wrapped up in those types of things. I was considered the male athlete of the year and most athletic. And to be completely honest with you, I have struggled with that throughout my life because it's not a great place to find your identity. I'm not near as fast as I used to be. I'm not near as quick as I used to be. Believe it or not, I'm not as strong as I used to be. And I've had many injuries since I was your age, trying to pursue athletics. I was also considered most talented, and I'll be honest, this one stumped me big time. My only conclusion is that my class must have been very untalented. So class of 2010, if you're here, I apologize. It's either we were very untalented or it was just a mean trick to me. So I'm not sure about that. But here's the thing. Unlike me, okay, some of you are unbelievably talented. I read some of the things that you were planning on doing and some of the desires that you have. They speak to how talented you must be. Like, I would still caution all of you, whether it's your athleticism, your talents in the arts, or maybe it's something else, be careful to not find your identity wrapped up in those things, because those things can come to an end in a moment. The last thing that my class considered of me was one who was most likely to succeed. This is the second conviction I think that's relevant for all of us, because who in the world gets to define success? Who gets to define success for you? Is it going to be a title that you receive that defines success? Is it going to be wealth? Is it simply appearing to be better off than those that are around you in your circle? Look, you're going to have to answer this question for yourself. Maybe soon or over the next few years. What is success going to look like for you? Don't let other people define what that is for you. Like, I've wrestled with this for some years. And for me, I can say just for me that I'm finally at peace with what success looks like. Okay? It can certainly be a journey, because many of us graduated with sights on living an extraordinary life. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But here's the thing. The majority of people end up living what might be considered an ordinary life instead. So these are my confessions of an ordinary and what I would consider a successful life. Take it for whatever it's worth, okay? For me, success is found in a calling. For me, success is being faithful to my calling on this earth. My calling as a husband to my wife, Amy. I have eyes for her and no one else. That's what that means. She has all of my heart. Through good times, through tough times, that means I'm all of hers. There's no backing out. There's no quitting. I'm successful to me in my faithfulness to her. Success also is being faithful in my calling as a dad. However many kids that I'm blessed with, I am doing well, I believe, to love them for who they are and to make sure that they are protected and that they know that I'm their number one fan and I'm proud of them and not their critic. Success is being faithful in my calling as a pastor. I'm successful, I believe, in loving the people that God has put under my care. It's like a shepherd. Like a shepherd, I will feed my people, my flock, faithfully the Word of God. I will care for them in their struggles and in their sickness. I will protect them from anything that might harm them or contradict what God has already said. That's what I believe my calling is to be faithful, and which leads to success. These are all reasons why I believe that it's important for you to work out your convictions so that you can know who you are as a person and know what success looks like, so you might be satisfied and hopefully, like everybody here, hopes that you flourish in this life. In closing, one thing I know for sure, okay, as a graduate from Sentinel High School, is that this community will care for you and they will care about you no matter what you go do in life or what you don't go do in life. This community and your families who are here tonight to show their love and support of you, they have helped, just like your teachers, your administration, your coaches, with the groundwork of developing your character and what convictions that you're going to have in life. Be sure to thank those people that you love and that have had an impact on shaping you. Here's the thing, class of 2022. Now it is your time to go and build upon the work that's already been started in you. And I can say that is why you should be proud to say after tonight, once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Warren. At this time, we would like to recognize the scholarships that these young men and women have worked so hard to earn. Students, when I call your name, please stand and be recognized. Aaron Castorena. Western Oklahoma State College general tuition waiver. Josh Cross. Oklahoma's Promise Scholarship, United States Presidential Scholar Award, Southern Illinois University full tuition waiver, Beta Scholarship, Western Oklahoma State College Presidential Academic Scholarship, and a federal Pell Grant. Jet Cunningham. Oklahoma's Promise Scholarship, Beta Scholarship, and a Redlands Baseball full tuition waiver scholarship. Cole Elmore. Oklahoma's Promise Scholarship, Beta Scholarship, University of Central Oklahoma Distinguished Freshman Scholarship, University of Central Oklahoma Counselor Scholarship, Western Oklahoma State College General Tuition Waiver, and federal Pell Grant. Braden Green. Oklahoma's Promise Scholarship. Ulysses Munoz. Oklahoma's Promise Scholarship. Caitlin Stewart. Sentinel Beta Scholarship. Blazin Todd. Western Technology Center's 13th Year Tuition Waiver Scholarship. Tristan Toro, Oklahoma's Promise Scholarship. Jack Wooten, Port Alumni Scholarship, the Seltzer Family Scholarship, Daughters of the American Revolution Scholarship, North Fork Electric Scholarship, Sentinel Beta Scholarship, the Cody Combs Memorial Scholarship, West Central Administrators Scholarship, University of Central Oklahoma Distinguished Freshman Achievement Scholarship, the Darrell E. Willis Scholarship, and the Dick West Memorial Scholarship. Scholarships for these young men and women are still coming in daily. To date, the Sentinel class of 2022 has amassed a total of $289,495. Let's give them a round of applause for their hard work. Graduating candidates, please stand. Mr. Goosetree, members of the Sentinel Board of Education, I would like to present these seniors as candidates for graduation from Sentinel High School. Aaron Castorena. Joshua David Lee Cross. Jet Logan Cunningham. Cole Balcom Elmore. Braden Cage Green. Carson Earl Hogue. Bonnie Chase Cassee. Ulysses Dominic Munoz. Raymundo Perales Barrera. Caitlin J. Stewart. Blazin Luis Roche Todd. Tristan Gage Toro. Jack Ryan Wooten.
Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, seniors, With the power vested in me by the Oklahoma State Department of Education and the Sentinel Board of Education, I pronounce you 2022 graduates of Sentinel High School.
That concludes this evening's ceremony. I would like to invite all of you for a cake and punch reception in the cafeteria, and thank you for coming.